Hi everyone. On the rest day of the 100th British Chess Championships on the 3rd of August 2013, I competed in the second of two rapid plays that take place during this amazing event. The first rapid, the videos are already up. I did them first actually because it was before the Major Open, and you can also see rounds 1 to 6 of the Major Open. But now we are on to the second rapid, where after my shocking run of form in the Major Open, I was hoping this would provide some respite, and maybe I could win a rating prize for some much needed cash. But not when it turns out to be something like under 1950 or something. But anyway, still give it a good shot. In the round 1, I was playing someone who was propping up the main event actually, so basically it was the Major Open whipping boy v the main championship whipping boy. He was 20-27 FIDE and 183 ECF at rapid and 181 at long. So of course, even though he's propping up the main event, the fact he is over 180 plus suggests that this might be a long game. But I'm 169 at rapid, so not a mismatch. And the funny thing is that we're using my long play rating of 1747. So it makes it so a lot of games I'd be outgraded by like 300 points, but an ECF would be similar. Anyway, he played e4. I've stuck with the French defence, because that game in round 1 sort of scarred me from playing 1e5 for a long time, and plus I had a good game with French in the last Major Open game. d4, d5. I'm sometimes a bit reluctant to play the French against people I don't know what they play, because in case I get the exchange French, which I always actually lose against because he's that boring. I try and live it up too much and get murdered. Now we played the advance, which I was very happy to see because my record against that is about plus 52. Okay, maybe not that much, but I do have a very big record against, a plus record against it. c5, c3, and in his latest videos, Brandon's actually been recommended to delay the development of the queen, to put it on c7 instead of the law lines and play Nxc3 Bd7. But I've not really studied it enough, and I thought I'd stick to Brandon's old line, so I played Queen b6, Knight f3, Knight c6, now Bishop e2 line, which is a line which I seem to get the most often. Takes, Knight h6. So now if he tries Bishop takes h6 ideas, and the pawn on b2 is actually safe to take, and we have a very long theoretical line actually now. Right, I actually forgot the theory. I think in this position you're supposed to play b5, if I remember correctly. I think you do anyway. But I need to check. But I played Bishop takes c3 check. Knight takes c3, Bishop d7. But I think I've misplayed this because I think White starts in a good position now. I think he should have played g4 straight away in this position, which is a typical French advanced move. So if I go back to h6, White just calmly plays h3, and I've got to waste time playing f6, knight f7. So I probably have to go back to e7. So I've got an idea of playing knight g6 and knight f into f4. But I think White can just play stuff like h4 with a nice position. But he castled. That was a nasty sneeze. I castled as well. Here we go again, the one better stuff. a3 was played, tried to kick my queen, so I moved back to d8 before I could even think about kicking it. And actually now I've got a point now. Well, actually he finally played g4, but now because I played queen d8, I've got another option. I can play knight into h4. And just a note as well, it turns out Brusey plays the French himself as black. So this is quite good actually. Now after knight takes h4, my queen comes into the game, and he's already opened his king up a bit, so I can maybe blast open the king side with h5, f6. And this could be really good for me. Now he played f4, trying to hack me up with f5. I played a6, just trying to stop his knight 6 via b5. But now of course knight a4, because every pawn move creates a weakness, and now he can aim for the c5 and b6 square. Because when he comes into c5, I've got no time for b6 because he's attacking my bishop. So I play bishop e8 to get out of the way of it, and also preparing to move the f pawn and get the bishop deployed aggressively to g6, and then maybe into the e4 square. And then queen h3 and queen g2 be mates, which is quite a long shot because I'm against a strong player, but It's worth a try. He played rook to c1. Now I play f6, because in the French, black has two keen undermining two rules, c5 and f6. But this is actually quite poorly timed, because I'm very surprised he didn't just play knight to c5, which actually forks my b7 e6 pawns, and I've probably got to take this. And then he takes this. I've got to play queen e7 to avoid dropping the pawn, which is not a particularly nice move. And I have something like f5, white is a great position. So this f6. This is actually, I can just move the queen actually, and taking on here is not so bad for me. There actually isn't a way for white to get an attack easily, but I won't like to play this position. And now knight c5 is a monster. Plus you've got to find some difficult moves on the way. But he played a nice move actually in rook c3, just trying to get a rook lift to harass my queen. I took to open up the f line. He took about the d pawn to keep the f line sort of shut. But this does give me a protected pass pawn on d5. And I played, I think I should have just played d4. But I played a very crazy move. I went h5. Just trying to rip open the king side. And now knight c5 is good again. But he played king g2, trying to get rook Qh4 in and skewer me or something. So I took on g4 to temporarily stop that. And after bishop takes g4, I went queen back to e7 to protect the e6 point. And this position now is getting very sharp. Queen came to c2, which is actually a very bad move, because although it looks natural, I was stopping bishop g6, I played knight to d4. And now I'm getting my knight to a very good square with tempo, which also blocks the attack on the e6 point as well. Also a potential check on h4 that could become useful. Personally, I think he should have got rid of it and give his bishop up, because my bishop's not great. After rook takes f5, slammed his knight into b6, the rook would move. And this is probably slightly better for black now, because white's kings are very vulnerable. But after something like queen d4, I think white should be okay. But he played knight into c5. And actually, that is a blunder, because I played d4. And now this forces white to give the exchange up, because I've got a family fork next on e3. In fact, if my knight gets to e3, I'm forking all his pieces and I'm attacking his rook. So he has to play this to stay in the game. And of course I've got to grab the rook, otherwise I'm going to lose that pawn. But he does get a pawn near my king for it. And now white's got two connected passed pawns in the centre. I blocked. And now he played a very strange move. In this position. In this position he has to play bishop. He has to take the bishop, which looks unnatural, but it's the only move to stay in the game. What did I take back with? Queen takes. Then shot the knight back to e4. Just to try and get some counterplay going. And maybe come into d6 or something. But he played queen d5, which is a very strange move, because it's not actually even threatening anything. And I just took on b2. And also I've got a pawn that's one square away from queen in as well. And I'm going to exchange up. So this is now a practical loss for white. Rook came to b1 to block it, but I now played rook a d8, which practically forces bishop takes f7 check, but he moved his queen. And now again there's no threat from white, so rook came to d2 with check, which protects the pawn and checks the king. And now he makes an absolute horrific blunder. He has to move his king out in the open, and he played king h1. And in this position, I missed a move that is plus 28. In fact, I know it's a forced mate in 7. I missed a forced mate in this position. Unbelievable. It's not even hard to see black to play and mate in 7. I missed simply queen h4, and there's no way white can actually defend the h2 pawn. There's no way white can defend the h2 pawn after queen h4. This is toast. The only way to delay is to throw in spike checks. In fact, now it's actually shrunk to a mating 4. God, my engine's being very slow. Yeah, it's a mating 4 this. Because also if white plays h3, there's queen f2. I'm mating on g2 or h2. But I just played b5 instead, trying to get the queen away. And bishop takes f7 check. Queen takes f7, because of course if I get the queens off, it's an easy win. He tried through an e6, some tactical shot, which is even worse because now when I take, that's 2 connected passed pawns, all about to queen, unstoppable. He has to play knight a4, but I play rook takes f4. And after knight takes b2, I don't play rook f2, I play c3. And I resigned because that pawn's unstoppable. There's also rook f2 next, and mating on the mating on the rooks as well. So we threw in the towel, and after a very dodgy opening, that was actually a very nice game, and I went against quite a very strong player. And he ended up finishing bottom of the main event by 1.5 points. So, in fact, but I don't think that's as bad as losing to me, to be honest. But this game shows that I can still live with the big boys at Rapid, and I hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to showing you my next. There were 5 Rapid games, so please leave in the comments some thoughts. Thanks very much.